Down begins right now. On this week's episode of This Town Rocks, my buddy Danny Vinson stopped by to tell us some of his acting experiences. He's been in over 80 films, including Talladega Nights and Walk the Line. So we had a great time. He shared some great stories, and that's just another reason why This Town Rocks.
You got kids? My girls were born. That's when I finally figured out what it was to be a man. You know, a real man.
If there's something you need done, I shall do it.
There's a farmhouse 12 miles to the east. Rumor is there are Union sympathizers there hiding Confederate deserters. If these rumors are true, I need those deserters arrested and brought back to me.
How much you think that pig weighs?
But he can only count 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6.
Old Wilberta there weighs exactly 456 pounds.
Dude, just give me my change.
I did give you the change. You hold it.
Hey, my money. Ah, help! No!
Hey, this is Kurt, and this is my buddy Danny Vinson. So good to see you, and I appreciate you coming on the show. It's an honor. My buddy's done over 80 films, including Talladega Nights and Walk the Line.
Yep.
It's been awesome, and you've always shared these great stories with me about Alabama and all types of things. And so I wanted you to come on and tell us some of these great fun stories and
I'll be glad to. I
have
appreciate
fun.
you letting me in. This is getting to know you like I have as far as through the guitar shop and whatnot. This was not a surprise to find out that you had a show.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you could do this, but I appreciate it. I'd love to talk shop with you, man. Shoot you. This is during this time of be at home. This is refreshing to get out.
Well, yeah, it's great for me too, and my brother Mike, he's a huge Will Ferrell fan.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, you know, the Talladega Nights, I told him about you, and he was like, I got to meet this guy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he's like, ask him about Talladega Nights. And of course, my wife and I are huge Walk the Line fans. And, you know, so
Oh man,
You know,
good
and you've
stories.
got so many movies, you know, with Disney and with everything. It's just
Well, I've been
a
very
really
blessed.
cool,
Yeah.
fun thing. But what was it like to work with Will Ferrell? Since my brother, I know he's going to ask.
Yep. Well, I've been fortunate enough to do three things, projects of Will's and with him, and Eastbound and Down, an episode
Oh,
that he
wow.
produced, and also a movie called The Campaign with him and Zach Galifianakis.
Mm-hmm.
But and what's your brother's name?
Mike.
Mike. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Mike, this is for you, buddy. He's a great guy. He's funny and he's amazing to watch work. You never get two takes the same. If you do a take and everybody, okay, cut, we're going back to one, and you walk by him or you see him and he's staring at the floor, then you don't interrupt him because he's thinking about what you're about to see in the next take, and it's something different that you always did. My scene in Talladega Nights, he comes to my ticket booth and checks on his old man's tickets that his dad, of course, piece of crap, never came
Right,
to
right.
anything. But
Hey, Steve.
hey, Ricky.
Hey, you got those 2 tickets for my special friend?
Yes, you do. You know what I do, Ricky. Got them right here, buddy.
Great. Hey, how's your mama's hip?
Well, she's gonna be all right. Thank you for asking. He, we got about 5 minutes, I guess, before we started. The director, Adam McKay, came over and said, "You want to meet Will?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." And so we walk up, and he's kind of off to the side, away from everybody, and kind of hiding behind this big van, and just as natural a guy, funny, comical the whole time. You look like so and so, a kid I grew up with, and I'm just sitting there soaking all this up. He was a great guy. Don't worry, he was a great guy, and I liked him. I didn't hate him. Not that I don't hate you, then he'd break, and you don't know what to do. But what he's trying to do is loosen you up, because and I now know, working with them on that day on Talladega Nights in Charlotte, that's their deal. That's his style. He wants you just to be as natural as can be and think. He likes thinking actors, and
Sure.
I do too. And so don't come up with the same thing twice,
Right.
but come up with two really brilliant things.
Right.
So but that's how he does it. So you get to do it too. And he came at me with two in the film, the movie, the cut that made it. He asked me, "How's my mom's hip?"
Right.
And that's not in the script at all. And I think I say, "Oh, she's fine, man. Hey, thanks for asking."
Right.
Which is what we'd say down here.
Sure, absolutely.
And he walks off, and I do the last line, and he came right back to that little window of mine, that little cutout glass window, and said, "I like that, man. I like that. Thanks for asking" stuff. I said, just what we'd say, And and that's, of course, that's the cut that made it.
And didn't he, when you were getting your hair cut in the same trailer, I think you were telling me he remembered that line or something?
Well, no, that was kind of neat. And this business, it gives you so much. You can glean so much off of it, and be glad to be honored and be able to walk through the same air that these guys are breathing, man. And that, but you've been invited. You're part of the group. Mm-hmm. You're an associate.
Right.
Don't screw it up.
Right. Oh yeah.
And so that's. And if you're invited back, then as he did, he invited me, cast me again on a movie to play a snake handling preacher of all things. Believe that or not.
That's awesome.
And I tell you, the director of that movie, Jay Roach, he's the same guy that did all of the Austin Powers movies there. But I knew for some reason that we were going to have the talk, sooner or later. Right after lunch, he walked me down we were filming in a church, a real church, in Madisonville, Louisiana, right across the Pontchartrain, I think, and down in New Orleans. And he put his arm around me and he said, "Now look, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. We got a guy." And I said, "Well, you'd rather me do it, right?" And he said, "Yes, oh yes." I said, "Well, then I'll do it." And I said, "It'll help Will too, because I have to hand off two carpet pythons to Will Ferrell."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one to him and one to somebody else. And he has to take them, and he does. He did. And handling those snakes, I got bit twice.
What?
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to either. Wasn't supposed to not supposed to gotten bit there, Mr. Producer. But
wow,
everybody, including I think one of the Warner brothers, showed up to mop my hand. Man, it was terrible. They were all panicking that it was they were non-poisonous snakes, and the teeth are not like a fang. They're like a catfish or a little teeth.
Sure.
But he got me good. Yeah.
Wow.
Twice. Once right there, and the other time right in the little cuticle of my finger. Man, that hurt. It hurt like crazy. It was a little water snake that I had 3 in each hand. The audition for that was to play a snake handling preacher. Now I'm from Alabama. 40 miles from where I live, supposedly there's a church that does that.
I'm sure, yeah.
So it's nothing against that. I mean, praise him, but
Amen.
it's I Googled, I remember, I'll never forget this. I Googled rattlesnakes in church is what I
Woo!
and all of a sudden I got like 240 videos of this guy, and that's how I did it, man. That's exactly how I did it.
Built for life on the road, Stockwell is Marshall's lightest and most portable speaker to date. The battery offers 25 hours of playing time, and the USB charging port means you'll never have to worry about running out of juice. Stockwell features retractable analog knobs that complement the vintage Marshall styling. A 3.5mm input, as well as the latest in Bluetooth technology, keep you connected. Stockwell can be purchased with or without the protective velvet line flip cover. The flip cover can be purchased separately if you change your mind later on down the road.
My wife would have been, wow, yeah.
Well, there were extras dressed as part of the entourage in church there, the congregation, and the snake people, basically, snake wranglers. And them, and there were 6 or 7 of those, and Will and I were the only people allowed on set to touch those snakes.
Sure.
And that was kind of interesting, I thought, but they would have to include me.
Right. So was he a little squirmish with the snakes? Was he a little standoffish?
Well, no, it's funny you ask. We had a little safety meeting. Supposedly,
Sure.
Stuntmen and everything, they get together. Well, we had a snake meeting, and the snake wranglers introduced us to the snakes, and basically they said, if you're handling them and you are just as natural as you can be, and you don't poke at them and you don't get right in their face, and,
shake them like maracas,
right? Yes. Hook them like, I saw this in a movie. Yeah, no, but they. And the guy was so poetic. I thought this was so neat because he said, after all, they are actors as well, just like you. We have to have them. We need them. We can't do it without them.
That's true.
And he's right, because the scene's got to have live snakes.
Right.
So, but, and I remember the guy telling me, now, if you want to keep messing with one like this, it's like trying to catch water.
Oh, yeah.
And he was exactly right.
Sure.
He said, if you just will be still, they think you're a tree. And so, I mean, first take, everybody giving them back.
Sure.
Sure. Second take, same thing. Third, fourth take, man, I just held on to mine,
Right.
I look over at Will and he's going, No, man, that's what they said. Don't. And of course, I know now, okay, well, he's a child. I can get away with anything today and be okay. So, but we had fun that second movie.
I have the faith in me! God damn it! Fucking son of a fuck! Oh, the fucking cunt-ass serpent bit me!
Sir, words like that have never been spoken in this room.
But the fucker bit me! I'm sorry, the snake bit me.
Which means you don't have the faith of God.
Yeah, yes I do. God has removed the venom from my blood and the blasphemy from my heart. It's a miracle! It's a miracle! I can't feel it.
that you were talking about the movie Makeup Trailer. That was an
Right.
interesting deal. Yeah, that movie about How's Your Mom's Hip?
Yeah.
From Talladega Nights. I get to New Orleans on like a Monday, and we're to shoot on Tuesday. Well, they want to see me that afternoon, Monday afternoon, for a wardrobe fitting, and also makeup and hair to check my hair and whatnot, to cut it or whatnot. And so I go in and go to set, actually to the set where makeup is, and they're shooting out there, whatever. And it's about probably 3:40, something like that in the afternoon, somewhere in that neighborhood. They wrapped it about 4. Well, I'm in the wardrobe deal, finishing up my fitting, and I hear we're wrapped on the walkie-talkies. Okay, cool, man. Everybody's going to be getting out of here, so that means I'm almost done too, you know. And they said makeup wants to see you. Go over to Makeup Trailer and let them take a look at you. And I said, okay. So I walk up, knock on the door, go in, and I'm here. Are you excited about tomorrow? Yes. Oh, I can't wait to handle 6 snakes at once. No, I didn't say it. No, it's have they told you about tomorrow? I said, oh yeah, I know all about it. And are you excited or scared? I said, no, they wouldn't put me in a situation that's unhealthy. And Warner Brothers, of course, was taking care of us, and they did. But I said, well, I've worked with Will before, and I said, me handling him will help him, and I know I've worked with him before. Oh, have you? Have you said hello? I said, no, I just got here today. And and she pointed. She said, well, go say hello. And he's down there. He wore a wig in that movie, the campaign. He played a congressman, and he's down there in the very last chair of the long makeup trailer, getting his hair piece taken off by his hair girl there. And I said, oh, no, he's finished for the day. I'll see him in the morning. And the lady actually said, she looked at me and said, go say hello. And so I said, okay. So I walked down, and as I'm walking down, there's mirrors all along the wall. And I'm thinking, what am I going to say? He won't even remember me, man. Talladega Nights was ages ago, and I'm thinking all this negative stuff. Or what do I say? And all of a sudden, I got to where I could see him in the mirrors, and he was kind of, how you do at the barbershop, you kind of get half-eyed a little bit there,
Sure.
Well, he was kind of opening his eyes, kind of checking me out a little bit. And he noticed, he saw in the mirror, and he kind of woke up, and I saw him kind of do this. And then all of a sudden, he looked over. He kind of was coming up, and I said, how's your mama's hip? And he goes, hey, man! And I thought, oh, he did remember me. So that was good.
That's great.
Yeah, and he said, man, we're going to have fun tomorrow. I said, I know. I said, are you ready? He said, yeah, I guess. I said, I don't know. First for me. I said, me too, brother, me too. I said, but that's what makes it fun, that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, how's your mama's hip? Hey, man. I thought, thank you, Lord.
Awesome.
Thank you, Lord. He does know who I am. So, but it was
cool.
A great cheer. He curses too much for my taste, to be very honest about it. But that's his thing, that's his deal.
Yeah.
Be it from me, I think he made last count about 157 million off of Talladega Nights, and I know that's growing every day. I think I saw it on somewhere this weekend. But
racing cars pays off.
It does. Go fast. Go fast. Go very fast.
Go faster. That's so cool.
No, it's been a blast. I've been blessed, like I say, to work with him multiple times, but that was my really and truly probably the third movie that I had been cast with dialogue, with lines.
Wow.
On it. So yeah, it was a long time ago.
I know you did Walk the Line too, and I love Johnny Cash. My wife and I love Johnny Cash. Big Johnny Cash fans, and we immediately saw the movie, got the movie, the whole thing. And I know the scene you were in, and I'll let you talk about the scene. Well, but what was it? What did it make you feel? Almost like going back in time a little bit.
Oh, absolutely!
It was such
it
was
very comfortable. Thing. Well, at our house we were blessed to we had intercom, and it ran in every room. And of course, Dad controlled the radio station that it was on.
Yeah.
And and that was country station. So I knew all the words to these songs these guys were getting up and singing. And I'll be honest with you, you got an LA crew there, and not a whole lot of country fans, I'm sure.
Right.
You know, they put up with it or eventually got to grow to like it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, some of the you know, Joaquin and Reese did all the music themselves there. T-Bone Burnett oversaw everything, and they had done all that. She told me 6 months before.
That's amazing.
And I asked her,
they did a great job.
Oh boy,
they did a great
ever,
job.
man, golly dog.
Hold up, man, I'm coming.
Oh, my, I think I hear June Carter's voice, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't worry, I can keep this funny for at least 2 minutes.
Gentlemen, Miss June Carter.
I mean, just to take on the obligation of playing a real person like that,
Right.
an icon, is one thing. But then to be told, and you're going to use your voice to sing it,
Yeah.
and do what? You know, you
Sure.
okay, well, this will never make it. You know, no, you got to. They were all in. James Mangold was the director, and a good group. They had been with. James Keach, the guy that actually played the warden of the prison, the opening scene, also produced this, was friends with James Mangold and his wife, Kathy, or his partner, I should say, Kathy. They had this so long. We shot it in 2005 in Memphis, and I remember them talking about the first inklings of anything to be done with this was 1992.
Wow.
They had Johnny's approval, June's approval,
Really?
not of the script, also who they cast.
Right.
They were alive during all of that, and so they were hands-on. I actually had an earlier experience with Johnny Cash, and I did a Nissan commercial, a national commercial for Nissan. We shot in Nashville at the Nissan plant there in Smyrna, and he was behind the scenes. We were all workers, and we had synchronized movements with these machines and to go along with the song that he was singing. And to be honest with you, I don't ever understood it, but you know, these ad guys these days, they've got the keys to the lock. I don't know, you know.
Right.
Thank God for them. But
Right.
He was singing the theme song to Laverne and Shirley.
Really?
We're gonna make it. Yeah. Oh, it was
All right.
weird.
5, 6, 7. Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way. Nothing's gonna turn us back now. Straight ahead and on the track now. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way. There's nothing we won't try. Never heard the word impossible. This time there's no stopping us. We're gonna do it. On your mark, get set and go now. Got a dream and we just know now. We're gonna make that dream come true. And we'll do it our way. Yes, our way. Make our dreams come true. We'll do it our way. Yes, our way. Make all our dreams come true. For me and you.
And I'll never forget, never. He pulled up in his big black bus, and that's where he hung. That was his dressing room. That's where he went. They would come and get him in a golf cart and take him into the plant. Our holding area was right outside there, big tents and stuff for us to. There was probably about 25 of us guys, I guess, and some ladies as well. Well, we'd been working half the day, and they'd come get him, and they'd drive in. They'd come get him and drive in. They'd drive him back and drive back. And June would go with him, and John Carter was there, and one of the sisters, Carter sisters, were there. One time they came to get him. We were all on hold. We were all being told, "Okay, get ready. We're going to be taking you in sections or whatever." So we're all up, and we're getting our stuff ready, and we're all there. And they come to get him, and he gets in the cart, and the guy takes him, and he's driving, and he's staring a hole right through all of us, our group. He's looking right at us. I don't know if he's talking to the guy. He's that far away.
Mm-hmm.
But it reminded me so much of a scene in Dances with Wolves where the Indian just raises his hand. And, you know, that's in their communication.
Sure, right.
And so I'm in the back of this bunch of people, kind of, and all of a sudden, I raised my hand. Well, he did this. Hey, like that.
That's awesome.
And all of a sudden, everybody, he's waving at us. He's waving. So,
That's great.
oh yeah. So it's and
right.
I thought, how cool. And then we're on set, and I remember one time being so close to him that I was like right behind him back here. And he's got a scar, man, right here that I don't know what put it there, brother, but boy, man, to leave a dent like it had to be bad day for him right there, man. I don't know. And I'm sure you could research that, but I'll never forget the light had just caught it, and I thought, man, that is that's a scar, man. You couldn't fix that if you wanted to, I don't guess. But yeah, it's strange for memories. And June and them, they laughed. Golly, they laughed the whole day. It was so family.
That's great.
But the first movie I ever did was kind of a disaster. It was a very good learning experience, though, for a young actor. It almost cost me my career.
Wow.
By my own judgment.
Wow.
Tommy Lee Jones, U.S. Marshals. I played a part of a state trooper, and I had probably 3 lines, something like that, very small. And I told everybody. I mean, it was my first speaking part in a movie, Universal Pictures.
Sure.
It was, and I told the world, man. I mean,
Absolutely, I can relate.
Well, 3 days before I'm to go to Dyersville or Dyersburg, Tennessee, where we were going to shoot this on the Mississippi River, I get a call from the agent, and she says, they have written your character out of the movie. They will not need you.
Oh, wow.
Just exactly that quote, just like that. And I thought, that's what you always hear this business does to people. Don't do this to me.
Sure.
That's the first thought I had was, you're kidding, and don't even play like that.
Sure.
And then I realized she was serious. And I remember sitting down on the couch, and it was probably 4 o'clock in August, because I could hear the cicadas outside. Nothing else on. And then I remember kind of gathering myself, and it was dark outside already. I'd sat there that whole time. And in that time, I had gone ahead and I had said, okay, Lord, I hear you. I'm not supposed to do this work. And I hear what you're saying. And in my mind, I had even started to think more in terms of my degree, my marketing work, and where I could go with that, and what, because this is it. I'm not doing this anymore. And how in the world am I going to make up for telling all these people that think I'm in this movie that I'm not?
Sure.
And that was the trick on being an early actor that I found it most difficult. People, not very many people knew I was an actor. I didn't tell anybody. And
Understandable.
if they found out I had a job or whatever, then I just told them I did a little modeling on the side. But the lady that printed my resume down at the printing shop, and Mom and Dad and my brother was seriously, that was about the only people that knew I was even doing this or trying to do it. And it wasn't going too well. So, and about 2 weeks before I was going to go do this U.S. Marshals movie, I had read for a Captain D's commercial. And so I had already given up on it. I put the acting resume down. I picked up the marketing resume, and we were working on it. And all of a sudden, I get this call from the agent, and the agent says, congratulations, you booked the Captain D spot.
Right.
And I thought, and she said, this one pays about $3,300, Danny. I would have made about $900 on the movie.
Sure.
And this one paid $3,000.
Yeah.
I hung the phone up. Thank you. That's great news. Hung the phone up, and I said, I hear you, Lord. I hear exactly what you're saying. I am back in.
That's right. Yeah.
And his little test, I passed it evidently, and okay, he gave it back to me. Because look at me, man. I'm not supposed to be doing this. If I can do this, anybody can do this. It's guidance, and I'm being directed now finally to do work that when I started, a faith-based market didn't exist.
Sure.
It wasn't. And now probably 1 out of every 4 things I do is related to that or with one of those type moral stories, good stuff that you can watch with your whole family.
That's great.
I appreciate, because I've got a lot of family out there and I want them to watch.
That's it. Amen. Yeah. I know. I love that.
Well, it's been a great run for me, and it's 25 years this April, and it was I never gave it 2 weeks.
Sure.
And I think that's why it's lasted 25 years.
Sure.
Because I still give it about 2 weeks, you know. And that's just, during this pandemic, though, I know we all got shook and shaken and stirred and everything else, but it's, I remember my work. I miss my work.
Sure.
I don't know many people that can say that about their jobs, that they love their job so much that they miss it. I missed my work, and I learned that. I learned a lot from it, but I learned that and that I'm not that good about downtime.
Sure.
I need to be working or doing something or have some stuff planned during this stay at home. And I saw a thing on CBS Sunday morning. They were talking about if you're finding yourself sleeping a lot,
Right.
you must also probably find yourself having bad dreams. And boy, I have had some zingers, man.
Wow.
And I'm sleeping too much, and I'm having some of
Sure.
the worst dreams in my life. One guy was trying to steal my Martin guitar.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
I took a swing at him.
Sure.
And I caught my wife right in the head.
No.
Oh, I did. And it was so
no.
embarrassing. She was okay. But
Thank
it was,
God.
I know.
Wow.
I can't believe I just said that on film, but I did. That happened. So,
Sure. Well, it's affected us, so many ways, and what you were talking about with work, right?
Yeah.
So we love what we do,
Mm-hmm.
but what people don't understand about the work aspect of it, right? The IRS, they think it's
know
work
about
because
it.
they go, hey, don't forget us,
Yeah.
which, hey, praise God, we're able to do it.
Okay.
But at the same time, right? So when you travel, because you travel,
Right.
I travel,
Yeah.
right? And you go however many 24 hours to get somewhere, whatever the case may be,
Yep.
and all of that for that scene that you cut. Or for instance, with us,
Yeah.
we'll travel 1,000 miles to play 30 minutes on stage or 45 minutes on stage. But we're honored to be there, and we're grateful for doing that. And it's a lot of work
Do you
to
remember,
get you to that point.
Do you remember
But
the day that you started?
Absolutely.
You kill for 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
And so you still will. And
I still will. Absolutely.
And that's the mode you got to stay in. No, it's a wonder, but I know it's happening. I mean, it's for real. We did a lot of work before this pandemic struck. I've got a movie coming out this fall that we got done before the pandemic hit called Blue Ridge. It's for the INSP network. Good film, always a great bunch of people to work with, and I play a bad guy in this one, which is different from me, but that's
absolutely,
that's okay. That gives me some more range out there. But it's so blessed. I mean, even to be without work, to know that it's still out there. One thing that I kind of figure, I hope anyway, is that once it does hit, it ought to hit hard. We ought to have work for days, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, hopefully anyway. But there's a lot of scripts and a lot of things on hold. And read for a Kurt Warner movie they're going to do about him to play his dad before the deal hit. So they're
what a great story that is. From stocking shelves to playing in the NFL. I mean,
everybody told him no.
You can't help but love those stories, and that's the whole thing. It's
that's
about never giving up. It's my story.
Nobody in my family
never giving up.
Right.
Always working hard.
You were a musician though at 15, man. I mean,
I started getting paid
making
at 15.
money at it early, so you.
I thought I came in late.
Well, for you thought you did, but
I thought, man, are you kidding me?
I don't know what I'd do without the guitar. It's my therapy, man.
Sure, mine too.
I mean, it's just me, the couch and the dog that get to hear it, but it does medicinally do things for me.
Myself
really does.
as well. I mean, my wife truly, she'll know if I come right in the house and just go, straight to the guitar. It's either I've got a song idea, or I've had a really, really bad day, and about 5 minutes later, I'm okay. I'll come out, I'll be, or she'll say, hey, I like that, or you should use it, or
it's like fishing to me. It doesn't matter what I play. I just like to play.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter if I catch fish, I'm fishing, man. You know? So there you go. That's
yes, I know.
But that's a healthy attitude. And it's about work. And like I say, I'm being led down a path, man.
I feel
his
exactly.
hands are on me.
I feel exactly the same way. I mean, that's exactly my story as well. And you know, to be on the road, to be blessed with the bands that we've been blessed to play with, Skinner and the Outlaws and Marshall Tucker and Molly Hatchet and just on and on and on. But we're so grateful for that. And the way I figure it is like this. I think, you know what? At the end of the day, if we've just got good stories to share and we had great memories doing it, you know, then that's really, you know, you put your passion out there, but you have a great time doing it. And with us, with the music industry, you know, everybody, we can, you know, we're all dying to get back out, and and as music lovers, we just can't wait to enjoy. But the same with film and the same with TV and, you know, entertainment. People need entertainment.
Well,
and entertainers need to entertain.
We also need to function normally, and that's how we function normally. And,
sure.
We're not getting to, and we need to get the economy going, which gets the economy going. It's all good, and hopefully, like I say, this will wake a lot of folks up, and there'll be a different appreciation for things. They will maybe love their job like I do because they missed it and they see what it means really to
certainly
in this
and the people they work with.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Absolutely.
That's the funny thing, because I've noticed an awful lot of stuff online that makes sense. It's the way to communicate now. A lot of these at-home concerts and people picking up the guitars, me included, and actually putting stuff out there on Facebook, which I can't believe I do that, but it's almost like I got to get it out. It's
sure.
There's no other vent, and if it's bad, then here's me playing bad. You know?
Sure.
So I don't care. It's like I gotta function normally, and that's missing that communication. You gotta. I mean, you may have done like me. I took this opportunity to correct a few things, update some things, a reel and resume, and getting a tooth worked on, and that kind of stuff. You don't normally get that chance to do.
Sure.
And for you, it'd probably be writing songs. I know the guitar station hadn't missed a lick. I know that for a fact. I've been in there a couple, 3 times when it's been overflowing in there. So
sure. Yeah,
people want to play. And music's so important during this. It really is. And of course, do you remember the day that you were told, and you got told that your time is valuable. Your time is worth money. Sure. You should be paid for your work.
Absolutely.
I hated that. I mean, I knew that was correct, and I knew the guy teaching me was teaching me correctly, and he wanted me to pay attention here.
Certainly.
But I didn't like that at all, because that's not really what I get out of it. But hey, I got to feed the cat, you know. So it's you got to go. But
that's true.
Now I don't have a cat anymore, so.
Well, you still got a light bill.
I got a utility bill and a car payment. Yeah,
that's
and
right.
7 little guitars to feed too. So.
Well, I tell you, Danny, I have had such a blast, and I'm so appreciative of you doing this with me. And
my pleasure.
It's, you know, I love the stories, and when we get a chance to get together and talk, and I just thought, you know, it'd be really cool, you know, because there's so many inspiring actors, there's actresses, you know, entertainers, musicians, athletes, you know, and at the end of the day, we're all just human.
Yeah.
And
right.
It's, you know, we all, you know, do the same struggles.
My dad says, when I got my first, I had a scene with Reese Witherspoon in Walk the Line. And he told me, well, I can't say this, I don't guess, but she wiped her butt just like you do.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
I don't know that we'll use that, but that's it, and that's true. And they want to be treated that way.
Sure.
I did Benjamin Button, and I'm going up to the John. I'm walking up the stairs, going to the head, and all of a sudden the door flies open, and here comes Brad Pitt out. Well, it's a one-man deal.
Sure.
I'm backing off. I'm in my priest outfit. He's wondering what's going on here, you know? And priests have to go too, you know. So
sure.
And he's coming down, and he's in his balding cap, and they're playing the old man parts or whatever. And he stops. He said, "Who?" He said, "You my priest?" I said, "Yeah, the night you're born, buddy. I go in to give your mom last rites there. I'm Danny Vinson." I said, "My pleasure to be on the same credits with you," or something like that. And I said, "I worked with Henry Thomas, and he spoke very highly of you." "Oh, what did Henry say?" He wanted to know immediately, and I told him, well, he said, "You were a good horseman." And but he was a friendly guy. I had a good conversation. I felt kind of sorry for him, to be honest with you. He was surrounded by, there were 3 very large men. And I mean, they didn't go to the bathroom with him, but I noticed them when I was going in. I get to go to Publix and shop, and nobody knows who I am, man.
Sure.
And still get to do this, not to the level of money that he makes, but I don't know if that's worth it or not. I don't know. I guess it would be or could be, but you know, he has those guys probably. I'm sure the studio provided them, but what does he do when he leaves the studio? You know,
Sure.
Does he have those guys at home, and is he having to pay for them? And
Sure.
does his livelihood keep those guys' family fed? I would worry about things like that. You know, I'm my own manager. I'm my own driver, my own wardrobe person, and that's kind of how I like it. But I don't know if I had a company or a group or a production group or whatever. I guess I'd have to. I don't need a publicist. I don't need a stylist. You know,
Sure.
I look like crap anyway. So,
Well, do you have any advice for anybody coming, you know, aspiring to be an actor, you know, something, or an actress, or in the field? I mean, for instance, there are a lot of people that just want to be a lighting technician.
Oh, yeah,
Their goal
yeah.
is to be a sound engineer.
Well, I know several
do you,
friends.
Do you have any, like, hey, this is, you know, if you want to do this, maybe you should start off with this. You know?
Yeah. Well, you gotta find out first if you like the industry. It's 12, 13-hour days.
Sure.
And it's 6-day weeks.
Those are light days.
Well, yeah. And it honestly is that.
Sure.
But it's the only job I've ever had when my feet hit the floor in the morning. I want to get there quick.
Sure.
I don't want to miss anything. That's
Right.
crazy, I know,
Right.
but
it's just perfect.
It's the best advice I can give is don't regret not trying it. If a production comes to your town and you want to dip your feet in the water, then dip your feet in the water, and you can do that. You can attend these casting calls that they have for extras, and go and probably find you some spot on this movie and get in frame even sometimes, and which is kind of cool. Everybody started as an extra or a background actor. I did. Brad Pitt did. We didn't stay there that long, but it was. I realized there were other things to do. I started as a stand-in.
Sure.
Working production. Those were my people, man. The crew, and I didn't even have an agent. You know, so for the first couple of years, I did Matthew McConaughey's Hands and Hand Double and A Time to Kill and some of his stand-in work, and Kiefer Sutherland, and I mean, I stood in for like 30. Robert Wagner on a Service Merchandise commercial. I think they're defunct now, but it's crazy the road that this takes you down. But every stop has some sort of learning experience that you need to glean from it, and it's not big time, but to you it is.
Sure.
And appreciate it for that. Know that there are probably hundreds, if not hundreds of people that want that job that you have, and you can be replaced very quickly.
Absolutely.
Very quickly.
Absolutely.
So it's dangerous that way. So stay healthy, and don't get sick on a movie, man. They will replace you. I mean, I'm crew now.
Sure.
I'm talking to the actors are a little bit more lenient, but I've got an identical twin brother that could finish for me. So I'm kidding. He's a great stand-in though. He's a perfect stand-in, identical. So, but it's thanks for asking me. Man,
Absolutely.
I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you. And do you have an Instagram and a website?
I do. DannyVinson.actor on Instagram. My website is DannyVinson.com, and It's out there, in there. I'm Danny Vinson on Facebook, and I think there's about 25 of us. But and the website, there's a guy that plays in a band out in Texas named Danny Vinson that wants my website bad. Boy, I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to give that up. But there's a lot of pictures, probably 300 pictures on that website, and thank goodness I took pictures in the early days. And
absolutely.
But yeah, I got more stories. You got more time someday? We'll do this again.
All
man.
right. Well, thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
God bless you, man. I appreciate you very much.
Yeah, you too, man.
And I look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, tell Truly I said hey.
And you do the same. You
Okay.
take care. I'll
Okay.
see you later. Thanks so much for watching this week's episode of This Town Rocks. I hope you had as much fun as we did. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Check out the links. Tell all your friends about it. We'll see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel on This Town Rocks.